This is Marshall Masters, publisher of Your Own World USA. That's YOWUSA.com on the web. Welcoming you to our February 2009 report titled Planet X 2012 Flyby Scenarios. This program is made possible by Your Own World Books, publishers of Planet X Forecast and 2012 Survival Guide, the Colburn Bible, and 2012 Wisdom of the Elohim. For more information about these books and related articles and radio interviews, please visit yowza.com. Also, please feel free to share complete and unedited copies of this program with others. For years, we've wondered about a mysterious object that orbits our sun every 3,600 years. We know it by many names: Planet X, Nibiru, Destroyer, and Wormwood, just to name a few. Regardless of what it is called, this object or objects have a connection to a very significant date, the Mayan calendar date of 2012. So what do the skeptics say? Certain that their opinions are the most important of all, they demand mountains of proof, which they invariably dismiss. This is because skeptics are like most people. They accept the simplest explanations for everything, and then close their minds to the rest. Yet, there is so much information about what is happening in our solar system that even news entertainment channels like Fox are inadvertently reporting harbinger signs of this mysterious object we generically call Planet X. Case in point, on December 18, 2008, renowned physicist Dr. Michio Kaku appeared on Fox to sound a warning about the expected solar maximum in 2012.
Same thing with the sun's magnetic field. It literally flips every 11 years, releasing a shock wave of radiation, and that means we have to start to think about reinforcing our satellites, building redundant systems, because it means that GPS, the power grid, weather satellites, communication satellites, satellite television, all of that could get disrupted, peaking around 2012.
So your point is we can't do anything about it in space, but we can do something back here on Earth.
That's right.
But backup systems, are companies really doing that?
Well, they're going to have to do it because, see, we scientists made a mistake. We thought that the next cycle was going to be quiet. Well, some of our data was off by a factor of 20, and that's why we're issuing this alert now. We made a mistake.
When Dr. Kaku said, "We scientists made a mistake, some of our data was off by a factor of 20, we at yowza.com immediately grasped the significance. What Dr. Kaku is talking about is the difference between an X-class solar storm and the new catastrophic Y-class solar storms first detected in 2003. This in turn begs the question, what does a factor of 20 error mean to us in terms of an X-class or a Y-class solar storm hitting the Earth? In technological terms, we'd be slammed backwards to the 20th century, where old-style AM vacuum tube radios would replace our personal computers, Blackberries, and televisions. Simply put, it is the factor of 20 that makes the difference between a technologically survivable X-class solar storm versus a catastrophic Y-class storm that would grind our industrialized global economy into a patchwork of third-world agrarian societies. This is the real threat behind Dr. Michio Kaku's warning. Sadly enough, the Fox News personality immediately brushed aside his warnings as just another Y2K Millennium Bug non-event.
I'm listening to you talk, I'm thinking Y2K. I'm thinking it's just a tactic that put a lot of fear in a lot of people. It may have gotten us ready, but there was really no danger in the end.
Well, let's hope that it's a dud. Let's hope that nothing happens. However, what if What if our communication systems are wiped out? Billions of economic activity could be
do you think anyone's taking this seriously?
I think we're going to have to. The physicists are now sounding the alert. We made the mistake. We made the wrong projection. The next solar cycle will be more intense than previously thought, and an ounce of prevention is worth.
Let us hope that dismissive assessments like these do in fact prevail, because if not, NASA's recent findings about Earth's own natural defenses against this coming solar violence in 2012 do not bode well. According to recent data obtained with a group of NASA satellites called Themis, Earth's magnetic field, called the magnetosphere, is weakening noticeably, and this is bad news for us. The magnetosphere is a large electrical bubble created by the Earth's core. It surrounds us and protects us from solar radiation. On the side facing the Sun, it is approximately 15 times the size of the Earth, and the reverse side is so large that it stretches halfway to the Moon. If it disappears, all life on our planet will literally cook to death as the result of solar radiation, just like the proverbial poodle in the microwave. This is why the recent data sent back by NASA's Themis probes is of great concern to us. Themis has detected not one, but two new massive holes in the magnetosphere, and according to some estimates, one of these holes is approximately 4 times the size of Earth. What these new NASA Themis probe findings tell us is that with or without a Planet X flyby, major eruptions on the Sun in 2012 will be more of a threat than ever before. With this in mind, we will now present a summary of the Planet X 2012 flyby possibilities using an 8-step countdown. Our countdown will begin at position 8 with the best case scenario, and then progress to position number 1, the Planet X extinction level event scenario, which represents a potential loss of up to 90% of all species presently alive on Earth. Join us now as we begin our flyby countdown. The difference between a relatively benign flyby on one hand and an extinction level event on the other depends on two things: the physical nature of Planet X and where it is in relationship to us and our Sun when it passes through the core of our solar system. The physical nature of Planet X is well debated, and the three most commonly discussed object characteristics for it are: an asteroid-like object. It could be an extremely massive and rocky asteroid-like body. Most likely, it will be dragging debris along with it and might even have a thin wisp of an atmosphere. It could also be a comet-like object. Comets are more brittle than asteroids, and like asteroids, will be dragging debris along with them and more. This is because comets are also surrounded by a veil of dust, plasma, and gas. Worse yet, it could be a mini-constellation, an ominous combination of the worst aspects of an asteroid-like body with those of a comet-like body. A mini-constellation contains a large central object, which will have a cluster of satellites orbiting it, such as planets, planetoids, moons, and so forth. Like an asteroid-like object, the central object of the mini-constellation could have an atmosphere, as could one or more of its satellites. Each of these three types of Planet X objects presents a different range of threats to the Earth, but topping that list is something we call the electrical kill zone. To define the electrical kill zone, we need to use three different coordinates. The first coordinate is the Sun itself, and the other two are based on two different points in the path that Planet X will follow as it swings around the Sun before it returns to the outer rim of our solar system. All available data indicates that Planet X is approaching from the south. For this reason, the second position we need to discuss is what astronomers call the ecliptic, or the equatorial plane of our solar system. To help visualize the ecliptic, let's start at a point in the center of the Sun, and then draw a line from there to the Earth, and then rotate it along with the Earth. At the edge of the plane will be the 12 signs of the zodiac. Understanding the ecliptic is important because the known major planets of our solar system all orbit on or near this imaginary plane. Because Planet X is in a long elliptical orbit around our Sun and is approaching from the south, the first point where it actually reaches the core of our system will be at the ecliptic, the second coordinate of the electrical kill zone. The third and final point of the electrical kill zone is known as perihelion, the point in space where the orbit of Planet X brings it closest to the Sun. The triangular zone created by these three coordinates is the electrical kill zone, because this is where the electrical interaction between Planet X and the Sun will be the most violent. How this solar violence affects the Earth will depend on two things. The first is the electrical properties of Planet X, depending on what it is. If it is an asteroid-like object, the interaction will be relatively mild, whereas a comet-like body will be markedly intense. However, if it is a mini-constellation, the interaction could likely be catastrophically severe. Then, of course, the big question becomes, where will Earth be relative to Planet X and the Sun when Planet X enters the electrical kill zone? In formulating the 8-level countdown you're about to see, we've taken these plus several other factors into account. What you're going to see next is a summary of the findings. For more in-depth information, a book with a transcript of this program plus a detailed technical briefing is available. Published in several popular ebook formats, you can learn more about it and other 2012 and Planet X related topics at yowza.com. That's YOWUSA.com. The 8-level countdown you are about to see is based on 8 different alignments between Planet X, Earth, and the Sun. All 8 of these alignment positions will be presented using a top-down view, from above the Earth, looking down on our solar system. Please note that the objects presented in these illustrations are not scaled to size. On the far side of the Sun, those 2 positions are conjunction and superior conjunction. The 3 positions that put Planet X between us and the Sun are greatest eastern elongation, inferior conjunction, and greatest western elongation. And finally, the 3 positions that put Planet X behind us on our side of the Sun are eastern quadrature, opposition, and western quadrature. As we review each of these 8 positions, we'll give you 4 different severity estimates, 1 for each type of object and an average of the 3. These severity estimates will range from a value of 1, which represents minimal consequences, to a value of 10, which represents an extinction level event where up to 90% of all species on the planet could perish. With this in mind, we now begin our countdown at level 8, our best case flyby scenario. The best case scenario is that Planet X enters the electrical kill zone while it is in conjunction to the Earth. At first glance, most would logically assume that a superior conjunction on the far side of the Sun would be the ideal candidate for position number 7 in our countdown. For years, we've wondered about a mysterious object that orbits our sun every 3,600 years. We know it by many names: Planet X, Nibiru's people. They accept the simplest explanations for everything, and then close their minds to the rest. Yet, there is so much information about what is happening in our solar system that even news entertainment channels like Fox are inadvertently reporting harbinger signs of this mysterious object we generically call Planet X. Case in point, on December 18, 2008, the Colburn Bible and 2012 Wisdom of the Elohim. For more information about these books and related articles and radio interviews, please visit yowza.com. Also, please feel free to share complete and unedited copies of this program with others. This is Marshall Masters, publisher of Your Own World USA. That's YOWUSA.com on the web, welcoming you to our February 2009 report titled Planet X 2012 Flyby Scenarios. This program is made possible by Your Own World Books, publishers of Planet X Forecast and 2012 Survival Guide, Nibiru, Destroyer, and Wormwood, just to name a few. Regardless of what it is called, this object or objects have a connection to a very significant date, the Mayan calendar date of 2012. So what do the skeptics say? Certain that their opinions are the most important of all, they demand mountains of proof, which they invariably dismiss. This is because skeptics are like most